What is good, guys? This is Steven here with All Talk On, and today I thought I'd do a little bit of a Halloween build. We're going with the theme of black and orange, which turns out to be a very expensive theme, seeing how there's very few limited parts that are made in black and orange for a budget. So, I didn't really set a budget. I just tried to look at things I could build under $1,500. So we're looking at $1,200.23, $1,223.39. Honestly, that's without any savings at all. I have them turned off. So, there probably is some savings included in there that would drop the price, but in case prices change in the future, I took them off. So this build will more than likely cost you roughly that always. So anyways, let's get right into this. The first thing we have up is the go-to hardcore gaming processor, which is the Intel Core i5-4670K, which is obviously, you don't get much better than that one when it comes to gaming. Now, there are, of course, the i7 series that have better processors than this for other tasks, such as, editing videos, rendering, moving around heavy files, yada yada, that messing with Adobe Premiere and whatnot. But as far as gaming goes, this thing is the best thing you can get right now, and it is the 70K, so obviously it is overclockable. I think it was to about 4.5 gigahertz. I am not an overclocking guy, but that's just what I've heard. Next, we have the cooler. We have the Fantex PH. I don't know. It just has a bunch of numbers, honestly. It didn't really give me the name. But it looks cool. It was orange. It's big and fluffy and whatnot. It matches. I don't know. I just picked it because of that. And it runs right now about $95.99 on Amazon, but Newegg actually has it for $95.99 with free shipping, so I would probably pick it up out of Newegg, because knowing Amazon, they're going to throw shipping costs right before you buy it. I just feel like that's going to happen. So obviously this thing is an aftermarket cooler. It is not a closed water loop, but it definitely will give you some room to overclock as far as heat goes. Next, we have the motherboard. We have the Gigabyte GAZ97X SoC. This thing is a beast of a motherboard. It really doesn't get too much better than this. I don't know. The picture of it showing four graphics cards stuck into it. Honestly, that's kind of ridiculous. I don't think you'll need that much. But anyways, as far as the specs and the options this thing has, it has 4 USB 3.0 plugs, as well as 4 USB 2.0. It also comes with the stock, DVI and VGA connectors on it, as well as a display port and an HDMI port and the infrared sound port thingy that I don't know what is called. It's just a hardcore motherboard, and honestly, at $169.49, it should be. It is on the Intel Z97 chipset with the LGA 1150 socket. It is a full-size ATX by Gigabyte. It does support RAID, of course, and it supports a ridiculous amount of DDR3 megahertz. I'm gonna go through the list only so you guys can hear how many there are. 1066, 1333, 1600, 1800, 1866, 2000, 2133, 2200, 2400, 2500, 2600, 2666, 2800, 2933, 3000, 3100, 3200, and 3300 megahertz. That is a mouthful. So obviously this thing is just ridiculous. Onboard Ethernet is 1 by 10, 100, 1000 megabits per second, which come on now. Ridiculous. But at $170, it should be. Next, we have the RAM. I went pretty simple with the RAM. I went with G-Skills Aries series because it's orange. And it's only the 1600 megahertz because honestly, with that i5, you're not going to be going too hardcore into anything else. 1600 megahertz is perfect for gaming. You don't need any more, honestly. But it does make a difference when you're getting into rendering and stuff like that. But as far as it goes for just gaming, 1600 megahertz is fast enough. It has a cast latency of 9, which is always nice for gaming. And it is orange, which fits the Halloween. And at $78.98, this is probably one of the most budget type things that's in this build. Next, we have the hard drive. I went with the Seagate Barracuda, 1 terabyte, SATA 6 gigabit per second, 64 megabyte cache, and at 7200 RPM. This is just your standard, good hard drive. Honestly, nothing to worry about. A lot of people like Seagate. It's dependable. You'll be fine with it. $58.98 is what it's going to cost you, and minus $5 for a promotion. It's a mail-in rebate. I'm not going to include that because, you know, who does? I mean, besides everybody else. Next, we have the GPU. I went with the Zotac 780 Ti Amped Edition video card, and this thing is just black and orange, and I mean, it's a 780. If you're going to spend $1,000 on a gaming PC, you need a 780. If there's not a 780, 970, or 980 in there, you're doing something wrong for $1,000. I mean, don't get me wrong, there are other things that you might need for an editing and stuff like that, like you might need more RAM and stuff like that, as well as other add-on, you know, for the cards, like capture cards and all that stuff. But honestly, if you're just gaming and you're building $1,000 computer and you can't fit a 780, a 290, a 970 in there, something's up. You know what I mean? You're going too expensive on something. But yeah, that's the Zotac version. They have the orange and black one. It's at 3 gigabytes of GDDR5 memory, and it's got a core clock of 1.01 gigahertz, and yes, it supports 3-way SLI with a length of almost 11 inches. So that will fit in our case. Our case now is a Cougar Challenger O, which I feel like stands for orange. And this thing just looks awesome. It just looks Halloween. It's got orange drive bays, orange fans, crazy orange accents on the front that just scream I'm way too over designed, and this is probably made of cheap plastic, and I'm named after an older woman that chases down teenage guys. I don't know. But anyways, it's a really cool case. It's got 3 disk drives or optical drives, as well as, you know, for the fan controllers, and then it has 7 internal 3.5-inch bays for your hard drive 7. So you can definitely turn this beast into like a storage machine. You know what I mean? Honestly, if you want that many games, go for it. And it has USB 3.0, little pet peeve of mine, of course. The maximum video card length is almost 12 inches, so this card will fit in our case with about 1 inch to spare. If you remove the middle drive cages, which is, if you don't have 7 drives, might as well, you get a full 16 inches of clearance, which will basically fit cards like the 780, as well as the Tri-X cooling edition of any of the R7, R9, or R9s, I mean, 270, 280, and 290 series. With the Tri-X cooling is a really long card. It's at like almost 13 inches. So yeah, and that's the case. It looks really cool. It's $74.99 with free shipping. Not bad. And next we have the power supply. Power supply, I went with the Thermaltake 750 watt 80 plus gold certified semi-modular ATX power supply. Now this thing is just basically black with a little bit of gold on it. That's basically what I was looking for. Honestly, it's Thermaltake. It's 750 watts. That's more than enough. It's 80 plus gold. You'll be able to hook up so many damn fans and LEDs, the orange LEDs, maybe even a couple of like some little speakers that play spooky music with it. I don't know. This thing's awesome though, and it's only at $59.99 after a rebate, which I'm not going to include. So you're looking at about $89.99 with free shipping. $79.99 from Amazon, so it's a little bit cheaper there. But basically, that is my build for this, you guys. And honestly, I don't know. I like it. If I had an extra $1,200 to throw around, I'd probably go with it, because that motherboard is a beast. And I mean, imagine the amount of overclocking you could do with like a halfway decent cooling system on here. I mean, you never know. Hey, and that thing supports so many honestly, that motherboard is way too overkill for this build. If I could cut this down to $1,000, which I had it at earlier, some things that I definitely would change is try to find a cheaper version of the 780. If not, go with one of the 970s because it's newer. But once again, black and orange, had to stick with that. If they have a black and orange, they had a black and orange 970. It just didn't look as black and orange. You know what I mean? It just kind of upset me. I would definitely go a little bit higher up on the RAM, lower on the motherboard, try and find somewhat of a cheaper graphics card. And honestly, then would be able to definitely probably drop it below 1200. Honestly, that power supply is a bit overkill for 750 watts. I did grab it earlier because there was a 290X in there, which consumes a substantial amount more power than the 780. So that's why that was in there. As well as I had I had a different something else too that was taking up more power, and once I got rid of it, the power dropped down, and I never changed out the power supply. But you know what I mean. I just threw this thing together in like 10 minutes, just basically to give you guys some Halloween fun. You know, give you something to look at, black and orange. Why not? Anyways, this is Steven with All Talk On, and I will catch you guys later.